Hi everyone, last year KVD Vegan Beauty released the Good Apple Skin Perfecting Foundation Balm, which went viral across the world. You could not get your hands on this. It was sold out in every single shade. I did manage to do a review on it. If you haven't seen that already, I will link it up here for you, but this had ridiculous amounts of coverage. It was also relatively easy to apply. It lasted a decent amount of time. It was hydrating on the skin, and to top it all off, it actually looked nice as well. Now, I don't wear this all the time because super high coverage is not really my thing, but it was a decent foundation. They brought out the Good Apple concealer. Will this be as good? Will it be the same? Will everyone be able to wear it? Is it suitable for all skin types like it says on the website, or is it just for the younger end? Will us over 40s be able to get away with this? I'm going to answer all those questions in this review today. I'm also going to try this on for you so you can see how it applies, how it layers up. Let's get straight on with it. If you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new videos on YouTube every single week. I'm also on Instagram if you fancy checking me out over there. And I'd really appreciate it if by the end of this video you found it helpful. Consider clicking on that subscribe button and joining the Pampered Wolf Pack. Also click that like button and the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Okay, so like I said, I am not really a huge fan of super full coverage foundations. I am a very big fan of skin. I like to see skin poking through, so I prefer something a little more natural. On the under eyes, however, coverage is key for me. I do have dark circles that I like to cover over, and as long as it blends beautifully into my other foundations, I will put on as much coverage as I can possibly get away with. So I was really excited to get my hands on this. I bought it in a couple of different shades to test out the difference. I haven't managed to purchase the right shade yet, but believe me, I will be getting my hands on it, and I'll let you know at the end of the video which shade I actually think will possibly be the right shade for me. So if you're my shade twin, you're going to want to listen out for that. Let's do a little bit of bump on this and we'll get some on my face. Okay, so I'm going to have to read you out the full name of this concealer because it's seriously long and my brain no longer retains that much information. It's just not happening. This is the KVD Vegan Beauty Good Apple Lightweight Full Coverage Concealer. Take a breath. Okay, here we go. This is going to set you back £23 in the UK. You get 10 mils worth of product or a third of a fluid ounce. It comes in 32 different shades. For the purpose of this video, I've gone for the shade 109, which is slightly too fair for me. This is supposed to be for light skins with a cool neutral pink undertone. It's supposed to give full coverage and give a natural skin-like finish. It's supposed to be lightweight and undetectable, be smoothing on the skin but also hydrating as well. It's got apple fruit extract in there to nourish the skin, raspberry leaf extract to hydrate the skin. It does contain alcohol and quite a lot of it, but there is no fragrance or essential oils. 109 is slightly too fair for me. I've got it on today and as you can see it's just a bit too bright, so I could do with the shade slightly deeper or a slightly different undertone. So I am going to buy the shades 111. 111 is for light skin tones with a yellow undertone, and then I'm going to buy 119, which is for light to medium skin tones with a warm peach undertone. We're going to try that out because I actually bought another shade which is lighter than this one just in case this one was too dark. That was a mistake. So I've got the shade 103, which is practically white on my under eyes, and the shade 109, which again is slightly too fair. Now the shade range is amazing, so there will be something for everyone. So the first thing that is extremely important to do with any concealer is to prep your under eyes. So I'm just applying a little bit of moisturizer underneath my eyes. I then let that sit for around a minute or two before I go in with product. Now on one side of my face, I'm going to use a color corrector, and on the other side, I'm not going to use a color corrector, so you can really see the amazing coverage that this gives. So this has a doe foot applicator, which is extremely soft. It's got a slight curve to it, so it really will hug the under eye and be a great applicator. However, I like to apply my concealers on the back of my hand. That way it's easier to personalize the level of coverage that you get, and it's much easier to blend the product out when you do it little by little rather than risking applying too much at one time. You only need the tiniest amount of this concealer. So the coverage is amazing. It dries down incredibly fast though, and you really need to bear that in mind. So I would definitely advise against applying a dot to each under eye and then blending out one and then going back and blending out the other. Just apply to one of your eyes, blend that out, and then apply to the other one. Otherwise, you're going to end up in a little bit of a mess. This is really smoothing on the surface. I would say this is self-setting. You do not need to set this in place unless your under eyes move a lot. I've worn this with powder and also without powder and got a very similar result after 10 hours. So I apply this with my fingertips. It's my method of choice. I like to warm this in my fingertips. I just find it applies beautifully to the skin. It helps it sink into the skin and mold to the skin a little better, but you definitely can apply this with a brush or also with a damp blending sponge as well, if that's your method of choice. This is definitely a buildable formula, so if you are wanting a little bit of extra coverage in areas, you can definitely get that with a second layer, although I didn't feel like I really needed a second layer. Even on the side that I didn't have any color corrector underneath my eyes, I thought it looked flawless. However, if you are wanting that little bit of extra coverage, I thought I would try it out for the purpose of this video, so I added a second layer. Now, word of warning, if you are wanting to build this up, you need to move incredibly quickly, and I would advise using a damp blending sponge rather than your fingertips, because when I did it with my fingertips, I couldn't really move quick enough. My fingertips were so warm, the product was drying down so quickly, and it adhered to the concealer from the first layer so quickly, it was slightly more difficult to blend out. This was easier with a damp blending sponge. So the first layer in future, I would apply with my fingertips, the second layer with a damp blending sponge if I needed more coverage. So even though this is the wrong shade for me, I still think it looks superb underneath my eye. It is incredibly smooth and it feels completely weightless. I was actually a little blown away. So because this is such a full coverage concealer, even though it's super lightweight and it's pretty much undetectable on the skin, I wouldn't reach for this. If I was blending it into bare skin, I would probably go for one of my other concealers. This would be the concealer that I would reach for with a full face of makeup. It is flawless. It is absolutely flawless. Having said that, does it work for all skin types? Now, I can't say about an oilier skin type, but I've got a feeling it will work superbly for oily skin. If you have really dry under eyes, this does not work well. It doesn't look very nice, and because of the high level of alcohol in here, it will just dry your under eyes out even more if you're going to be using it on a daily basis. I don't particularly have really dry under eyes, although I can sometimes suffer with slight irritation underneath my eyes, and I had one of those days yesterday. I wore this on one eye with it all prepped really nicely with my eye creams, and on the other side, absolutely nothing. This looked hideous on the eye that I didn't prep, and beautiful on the eye that I had. So that is just my experience with it. I've not got any irritation or any dryness underneath my eyes today, but I've still prepped with my cream. This has gone on beautifully, and I know it's gonna wear for at least 10 hours because yesterday I wore this for over 10 hours and it still looked stunning. So is this going to be suitable for all ages? Well, of course you can wear whatever you want at any age. There are no laws in reaching for something that other people think is inappropriate for your age group. I mean, what do they know? However, if you have a lot of under eye wrinkles, creases, crepey skin, There is going to be a concealer that is more flattering on your under eyes than this one, and because you have to be so fast at blending this out before it dries down, if you do have a lot of crepiness and a lot of under eye wrinkles, that might be slightly more difficult for you and you might not get as nice a blend. So I would definitely go for something slightly more hydrating if you do have a lot of crepiness and under eye wrinkles. So, final thoughts. Do I think this is a good concealer? Absolutely. Will I reach for this every day? Well, no. The high quantities of alcohol that are in this concealer put me off slightly, and even if it was the best concealer in the world, I wouldn't be reaching for this every single day because of the drying aspects that I would get underneath my eye. And no matter how many hydrating ingredients are in the formula, with alcohol being so high up on the INQUIRIES list, it's inevitable that somebody that suffers with sensitivity underneath the eyes like me will end up getting a bit drier as the days progress with daily wear. I am going to be trying this mixed in with my Holy Grail Lancome All Over Concealer. As a combination, they may work really, really well, and I'm going to try that out tomorrow. I'll let you know how I get on. So that's it for my little mini review on the KVD Vegan Beauty Good Apple Concealer. Have you tried this already? Did you really get on with it? Is it lovely on your skin? Is it your new Holy Grail? Or did you just not get on with it and need to throw it away? Do let me know your thoughts and experiences in the comments section. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.